every black man in this entire league, because I'm almost willing to bet you 75% of the brothers who got kids in this league probably do something similar, although probably not to the extent that Adrian Peterson did. But I guarantee you it happens. Because I guarantee you they got it from way back when. Nah, bruh. No. No. You're not going to tell a grown man how to raise his kids so that he could come back into the league. I say, screw you. You're not going to tell me how to raise my kids. Because if that's the case, let me come over to your house and see you doing the same thing. Oh, we going to air you out, bruh. That's on my word. Ran over. The Afternoon Locker Room continues after this. This is the Arena Sports Network.
If you are in Northwest Indiana or near Michigan City, LaPorte, Hobart, Burns Harbor, Valparaiso, Chesterton, South Bend, or Portage, there is no comparison to the other dealers around town to Sowers Ford Lincoln in Michigan City. Get your best price on Ford trucks, Focus, 150, Explorer, Escape, and Lincoln MKS, MKT, and more, as well as Fiesta, Fusion, Taurus, and Mustang. We welcome you to Sowers Ford Lincoln dealership in Michigan City, Northwest Indiana's newest Ford Lincoln dealer. We place the highest emphasis on our customers. We offer new and used Ford and Lincoln vehicles, parts, service, and used cars, including Focus, Fiesta, and more. For more information, drop by 3930 Franklin in Michigan City, Indiana, or visit them online at SowersAuto.com. Sowers Ford Lincoln, Northwest Indiana's newest Ford Lincoln dealer.
I'm not involved in the disciplinary part with the NFL, so like everybody else, I'm watching it from afar. And I'm just amazed at the way they just keep making these things up as they go along. They looked bad in the earlier things with Ray Rice. They handled things badly publicly, and now they just decided to make Adrian the scapegoat.
That's attorney Rusty Hardin, who is representing Adrian Peterson in this entire process that we were just ranting about in the first segment. And he feels the same way I do. Roger Goodell is just, he's backpedaling. And the only way to make him look like he's actually doing something is to make an example out of somebody. In this case, it just happens to be Adrian Peterson. Come on, man. Really? Really, Roger Goodell? You going to tell a grown man how to discipline his kids? Don't let me see you any remote kind of way doing the exact same thing that Adrian Peterson did. Oh, we gonna air you out, bruh. That's on my word. As we continue the Afternoon Locker Room presented by Gigahertz. Give us a call, 573-200-6505. I mean, Roger Goodell got me amped today, boy, because that was some bull crap that he told Adrian Peterson in regards to Peterson's situation with his kid. The kid was fighting for the love of God. Really? You gonna come down on him regarding that? You know, it's a good thing folk like Minnesota coach Mike Zimmer's got his back.
I support him and his family, and he was great with me, and but other than that, our focus is on Green Bay, and we got to move forward. So, that's just the way life is.
I mean, at this point, Mike Zimmer's hands are tied. He doesn't have a star running back because of what the league is doing to him, and he's got to look forward to a divisional game with a red-hot Green Bay team that right now doesn't look like any time soon is going to slow down, especially with the way Aaron Rodgers has been throwing the football. I understand, Coach. I truly do understand. Down the road in Pittsburgh, boy, another knucklehead. LeGarrette Blount, right before Pittsburgh's come-from-behind victory, 27-24 against Tennessee in Nashville, Dude leaves the field, dresses up, and gets on the bus and is told by defensive assistant coach Joey Porter numerous times to get off the bus and stay in the locker room, and he refused. So Mike Tomlin is like, deuces. And running back Mike Mitchell has said, yo, we support that move.
I know that he's not a selfish guy. I know he's a team guy. It was more so knowing him, his feelings are hurt. I just tried to get him to not do that, but, he's a grown man.
Yeah, he's a grown man with a butthurt attitude right now. Butthurt in the sense that he's not getting any touches. Dude, there's a whole gang of running backs in the league that are not getting touches, that aren't doing what you just did, man. You don't you don't do that. No! You don't do that. What's wrong with you? You don't walk away from $2 million a year because you're not getting touches? Maybe your skills are diminishing. Maybe you aren't the running back you used to be up in New England. But that is not any reason for you to feel butthurt and walk off the field before the game is done. No. What is up with this generation all of a sudden? Did the sense of team just fly out the door because of free agency? As if I'm making this money, I got to get of it. No, you don't. No, you don't. Because if that was the case, a lot of these backup quarterbacks that were selected in this year's draft would be on the field. Some of them have made it to the field. Some of them haven't. They aren't tripping either. They making their money. They learning what it takes to be a part of this. And when their time comes, they'll be called upon to do what they got to do. And if they make the grade, they make the grade. If they don't, they don't. But at least they're not going to sit there butthurt and acting like, oh, I ain't getting no playing time. Sit your behind down and collect your game check, son. Really? Come on, man. That LeGarrette Blount. You might as well just call your career a wrap after that nonsense. Because nobody is going to want to put up with that foolishness. And I'm glad Mike Tomlin made the move to do what he did. Because that shows me that at least there are some coaches that give a damn about their team in professional sports, not to succumb to that foolishness. That's ridiculous, man. Really? You're going to jeopardize your career because you're not getting any touches in a season where right now Pittsburgh is still on the verge of potentially taking the AFC North. Because Cleveland's not doing much. I mean, yeah, they're 6-4, but they could easily slip from that top spot, and Pittsburgh could snatch it. That's still anybody's ball game. Be a team player for once in your God-blessed life, huh? Or did you forget that leaving New England? Boy, I tell you sometimes, folks. The Afternoon Locker Room, presented by Gigahertz, and that's where we come in. Oh, real quick tonight, we've got basketball coming up on the Arena Sports Network. La Lumiere will take on Bosco Prep in LaPorte. Tip-off is at 7. Brian Snow has the Sowers Ford Lincoln of Michigan City pregame show at 6:30 p.m. Don't you dare miss a single minute of the Flavor to Savor. Then coming up on Saturday, Marquette Catholic girls basketball. They'll take on Victory Christian at 4. Sowers pregame at 3:30. Then the boys inter-squad scrimmage will tip off at 6 p.m. Marquette preseason special will be December 1st at 10 p.m. Eastern time. And then the La Lumiere special for preseason will come up December 7th. That's also 10 p.m. Eastern Time, and that's all right here on the Arena Sports Network, the Quad County Experience. Continuing the flow here on the Afternoon Locker Room. Alvin Washington in the building. Retirement to let you know about. Jason Collins, remember that crazy situation maybe about 2-3 years ago when Collins came out and said he was gay while he was a free agent and then wound up getting a job with the Brooklyn Nets? Well, he has now retired. And in his retirement letter, which he had shared with Sports Illustrated, he singled out current Milwaukee and former Brooklyn coach Jason Kidd, singling him out for the, quote, courage he showed in bringing him on board. Collins then later wrote, "It feels wonderful to have been part of these milestones for sports and for gay rights, and to have been embraced by the public, the coaches, the players, the league, and history. It had been argued that no team would want to take on a player who was likely to attract the media circus from the outset and whose sexuality would be a distraction. I'm happy to have helped put those canards to rest." Now, he wore 98 in Brooklyn. This was in tribute to Matthew Shepard, a gay college student in Wyoming who was killed for being gay. He said his most poignant moment came during his third game back last year when he met Shepard's family in Denver, of all places. Now, following in his footsteps, Michael Sam, you know the whole story about him coming out of Mizzou. He made his revelation right before his senior season at Mizzou. First openly gay player to be drafted by the NFL. Hasn't caught on with a team yet, neither St. Louis, who he was drafted by, nor Dallas, near where his hometown is. Is there a possibility he could be picked up? Who knows? One thing I can say about Michael Sam, despite the fact that I think he made his announcement a little too quickly, and that's kind of dropped his draft stock a bit, is the fact that even with all this hullabaloo, he has committed himself to being a pro football player. And that's all you can ask for, is just do the job. If you can do the job and do the job well, to the point where you can make the team, fine. Make the team. Then go ahead and make your announcement. That's the only problem that I have with some of these now openly gay athletes. And, of course, the latest is UMass guard Derek Gordon, the first openly gay player in Division I men's basketball. Had a great game yesterday against Manhattan in an overtime victory up at Amherst. Sometimes you just have to understand when to make your move. Great bluesman B.B. King wrote a song called "Don't Make Your Move Too Soon." I think in the case of Michael Sam, if he had just done like everybody else and just be a normal guy and not make any waves, and then when he made the team, he could have said what he said. That's the difference between him being selected in the back of the 7th round and him potentially being selected in the 4th round as SEC Co-Defensive Player of the Year. You have to know when to make your move, because if you make it too soon, it could hurt you financially. This is the Afternoon Locker Room presented by Gigahertz. Thanks to the Lake County Sports Network for simulcasting us as always. We'll check out, see what happened in the association and the NHL last night. A couple of busy nights there. And see if anybody wants to shovel some snow in upstate New York. Because, boy, they are going through a thing up there right now, especially the sports fans. This is the Afternoon Locker Room presented by Gigahertz.